Hi there, guys. I'm going to talk a little fast during this one because I got to get through it rather quickly because I'm kind of busy at the moment. But I felt the need to put this out because I don't want any of you to get beat up. Okay, let's dive right in. 16 racist and sexist Halloween costumes you should avoid. With each passing day, Halloween inches ever closer. Yes, it does. It's fucking tomorrow. It's one of the most fun holidays out there, and the necessity for costumes can give people a big creative outlet. Whether you're a do it yourself type or prefer piecing something together from existing or store bought clothing, the options are endless. Unfortunately, though, sometimes people take their Halloween costume freedom a little further than they should. Let's read that part one more time. Unfortunately, though, sometimes people take their Halloween costume freedom a little further than they should. Keep something in mind: the people who think that you may be taking your Halloween costume freedom a little too far here in the United States. They'll be voting in just a few days if they haven't already. And their vote has the same exact weight as your vote. If that is not more terrifying than any scary movie or any haunted house out there, I don't know what is. Okay. To put it simply, there are a whole lot of racist and sexist Halloween costumes which you should never wear under any circumstances. Now, I didn't go ahead and capture all 16. What I did was I took quite a few of them. And then, of course, because it's Bustle, and if you scroll through an article, you're going to get another article that's very similar. So I just took a couple screen captures from there. And then we're going to talk about one other thing that I mentioned a couple years ago when I did my Halloween costume talk. And then you guys will go on your day with this newfound knowledge. And again, hopefully you will take heed and you won't get beat up tomorrow, right? All right. Blackface of any kind, do not wear it. Unless you're these people, of course. Oops. Culturally offensive costumes on children. This one's ridiculous to me. Let kids wear what they want. Within reason, I must say. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I seem to notice this every year happening more and more. There are a lot of fucking fat single moms out there that don't want to wear the sexy Halloween costumes because the body positivity hasn't taken over quite enough yet. So they put their daughters in those costumes. And when I say daughters, I'm talking like little daughters, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, dressed in ways that they shouldn't be dressed, okay? A word that I usually use, but I'll use at the end of this. I'm never going to refer to children like that because, to be honest with you, it's not the fault of the children. It's the fucking moms living vicariously through them. All right, I'll quit ranting. Let's go. Okay, Indian costumes. You shouldn't wear Indian costumes. Here's the problem with Indian costumes. That chick right there is Indian. Okay? She looks fucking white to me. She looks white. So, if I were the type of person who would freak out over people culturally appropriating other people, I would get my ass kicked. Because I would walk up to her and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, you cannot wear that. You are culturally appropriating the native people." And she would say, "Fuck you, bitch. I am Cheryl Crazybull, and I am a Native American." So, this is why this shit is so stupid. Real quick, I gotta mention, I live in the mountains, okay? I live in the mountains, and there are a ton of Indians up here, and that's what we call them. They don't want to be called natives. We call them Indians, and they live on reservations, and they have sovereign land all over the area. And they don't give a fuck if we dress like them, okay? They have powwows. They want people to come to the powwows and buy shit, costumes and stuff, because they make money off of it. But you don't hear about that in the big cities. Okay, dressing up as a refugee. Now, I'm sorry, and I know I'm going to hell for saying this one, but whatever. From now, or for now, right now, when I think of refugee, I just think of like overweight Mexicans with cell phones, because that was the whole narrative being pushed for the last few years. So, I don't know, I guess the Mexican members of my family, you guys can't dress up as yourselves. Someone might think you're culturally appropriating refugees, but they won't say anything to you about it because you're Mexican. Okay, dressing up in Hitler costumes, or in fact, any Nazi costume. Now, this one's tricky. This one's tricky for me, and I'm sure most of you listening to this because, yeah, we don't buy into this bullshit. Therefore, aren't we literal Nazis? So even if we go out in our regular clothes tomorrow, we're bad people. Okay, this one I thought was funny. Religious garb is Halloween costumes. Every year, some number of people decide to dress up in attire that has rich religious and cultural meaning in ways that can be very crude and denigrating. Case in point, if you're not a practicing Muslim, donning a burqa for a Halloween party is offensive and demeaning in the extreme. Now, of course, they had to throw that last part in there because I see a lot of women dressed like this around Halloween. Okay, the Blue Lives Matter one. Now, the reason why I captured this one, and the only reason I'm even going to talk about it, is because I thought it was fucking ridiculous. You're talking about Halloween costumes. You don't want people dressing in Blue Lives Matter costumes, which I'm assuming is just a fucking police officer uniform. But instead of posting a picture of a police uniform, you post a picture of a barn with a Trump sign and a Blue Lives Matter sign and an American flag on there. Because someone's going to dress up like a fucking barn with those stickers and posters and a flag on them. Yeah, we know what you're doing, Bustle. All right, hypersexualized soldiers. So don't dress up in any type of sexy military attire because it's offensive. And then offensive Asian stereotypes. But apparently these women have never watched any videos of what people in Japan do. Japan's actually, they love Halloween. It's a big thing for them over there. And they dress like white women all the time. And normal white women like myself, we don't give a fuck. Just like normal Japanese women don't give a fuck if you dress like a geisha. They don't care. All right. This one I thought was so fucking funny. I'm sorry. Okay, whether you know anybody who's been to prison or not, whether you've led a life of struggle or relative privilege, the dynamics of racial injustice in sentencing and the sad state of America's prisons make dressing up as a convict a needlessly loaded proposition. So you can't dress up as a convict or a jailbird. Oh, fuck, because it's racist. Alright, let's just go ahead and call it sexist too. Ladies, you specifically cannot wear the costume because, well, you know, women don't get the same sentences as men when it comes to prison. I'm just saying. Okay, this one here. You can't dress up as the cerveza bug. Why? Because it's racist. Why? Because it'll make you think of Asian people. Because that's what I think of when I see this. I'm sure you guys do too. Give me a break. Okay, and then of course you can't dress up as Cleopatra because they was queens. They was queens, and it's cultural appropriation because Cleopatra apparently was black, even though she wasn't. But I mean, it's easier to bitch about something than learn the history of anything, I guess. Okay, I'm going to come off very hypocritical here, but I just want you guys to follow me on this one just for a minute, okay? So, gypsy. You can't dress up as a gypsy because gypsies are offensive. Now, it's okay to be into the whole, like, boho, free-spirited aspect of a gypsy because it's, you know, again, it's bohemian, right? What a lot of these idiots fail to realize is bohemian are a people, okay? I know this because my family is bohemian. All right? I mean, come on, Novotny, you couldn't figure that shit out? Okay? Now, we are from the Bohemian side of Czechoslovakia. Tabor and Pilsen. It's no longer Bohemia. It's now the Czech Republic because, see, our people were suppressed too. But the difference is we don't freak out about it and go, oh my God, you can't say the B word like these guys say with the G word. So you can't say gypsy because the G word is actually a racial slur according to the National Organization for Women. Yes. Can't say the word gypsy, but you can live a gypsy lifestyle and be boho and say boho because fuck Czech people, we don't amount to nothing. Now the reason why you can do that is because we're strong people and we don't give a shit and we're not easily offended by everything. Okay, I just wanted to throw that one out there because that's one of those things that always drives me nuts. You can't say gypsy because they're Romanian people, but you can talk about, okay, you guys get it. All right. Now we're going to get into what I mentioned a couple of years ago on my Halloween episode. And that is this. If you type in Halloween costumes for women, and if you are a woman that absolutely loves costumes like this, dressing like whores, and more whores, and back to these whores, and there's those whores, and these whores again. If you are going to dress like a whore at Halloween, which the vast majority of them will, you are appropriating The Sumerian culture. Sumerian records dating back to 2400 BC are the earliest recorded mention of prostitution as an occupation, also known as whores. So again, unless you pretty much wear, I don't know, you can't wear anything, okay? You don't even fucking go out for trick-or-treats because, A, you're too old if you're listening to this. This is not intended for children. But, because you can't make everyone happy. Someone's going to get offended by a costume no matter what it is. That's where we're at nowadays. That's where we're at. You know? I just don't get it. But anyway, I hope you guys have fun. And I hope you guys go do something for Halloween. And I hope you wear whatever the hell you want. Because it's Halloween. And that's what it's about. Dressing up however you want. Even if you want to look like a whore. I don't care. If you want to look like a whore, go look like a whore. Who gives a shit? Don't be a hypocritical whore, though, and start preaching about cultural appropriation when you are, again, the Sumerians. For those of you out there, I just want to say this. Because a lot of people are saying, well, we can't celebrate Halloween because there's a cerveza bug. They can't arrest all of us. Okay? So you guys go out there, have a good time. I'll talk to you tomorrow.